Good morning, everyone. So, I am CA Vijay Krishna Dharani. Today, I am here to tell you what is to be studied for law exam for CA Foundation in December. Now, tomorrow is the law exam. That is December 10th is your first exam. Since accounts exam got postponed, now law is our first exam. Now we have always heard that CA is all about hard work. Yes, of course, there is hard work involved, but let me tell you, there's a lot of smart work also involved. By being smart, we can pass the exam so much more easily. It's not always about donkey hard work. Yes, little bit of hard work, but yes, be smart. The easiest way to be smart is what? To predict the question paper. If we are able to predict tomorrow's law question paper, that's it. Our life is easy. Imagine there are going to be around 20 questions in the paper. Even if 10 or 12 questions we are able to predict what is going to be there in the paper tomorrow, that makes our life so much easy. So I am going to help you analyze what might come in tomorrow's exam. Now obviously this analysis is a long process. How it is done is secondary. Let us straight away get to what you should study for tomorrow's exam. Okay, let's go one by one. So in CA Foundation law syllabus we have five core topics, right? We have Indian Contract Act, then we have Companies Act, Sale of Goods Act, Partnership, and LLP. First of all, let us be very clear. Companies Act and LLP are small topics, weightage wise. So, where should our focus be? Our primary focus has to be on Contract Act, Partnership, and Sale of Goods Act. Now, we know that all law together is just 60 marks. Of course, there is 40 marks of business communication in English. It's impossible to predict business communication in English paper. Not possible. Because it's not some specific concept, it's overall your command over language, your command over communication. We really can't predict that 40 marks. So, assuming that you are okay with English, out of that 40, I'm assuming hopefully everyone is going to score at least 20 or 25. Correct. So now let us see out of the 60 marks of law how we can score the best. So let us begin with Contract Act. Let me straight away tell you topics what you should be focusing on. Focus on first voidable contract. So focus on what is voidable contract, what is the definition of voidable contract. Also specifically focus on these topics like undue influence, fraud, and misrepresentation. Theoretically focus on the concepts, but if you actually look at CA Foundation question papers, they ask practical questions. Theoretical questions straightforward are also there, but less. Majority are case based questions. So please go through all the case based questions on misrepresentation, fraud, and undue influence. Next topic, we have a concept of communication of offer and revocation of offer, right? And again from both sides, that is communication of offer, from the point of view of one is offer, communication of offer, then there is communication of acceptance, correct? Then there's also revocation of offer, then there is revocation of acceptance. If you remember, there are from the offeree side and the offerer's side concepts are there. So focus on those concepts, again practical questions. Third thing, invitation to offer. We know that the offer and invitation to offer are two different things. Offer can be accepted. Invitation to offer is not an offer, it cannot be accepted. So focus on again practical questions on invitation to offer. Next, void contracts. Similarly, in void contracts there are so many, like there are some contracts which are void contracts which are expressly declared as void, and then there are some which are you know against public policy. Focus on all those things, again theoretically and application wise, both case based questions are a must when you're practicing. Also contracts with minors, because they also fall under void category, so focus on those. Obviously when we say contract with minors, do also refer to other things like contractual capacity. Capacity to contract, everyone cannot enter into a contract, right? Like a minor, a lunatic, correct, an insolvent. Focus on those also when you are studying. Next thing is breach of contract. So what happens when one of the parties is not performing the contract? That's a breach. Focus on breach and anticipatory breach, again from a practical point of view. Remedies for breach of contract, if you remember, also there are things like novation, substitution, alteration, injunction. Around those breach concepts, many other similar smaller concepts are there. Go through those. Also focus on what's a wagering agreement. We know that wagering agreements are void, correct? And what is a contingent contract? Both of them definitionally look similar, but contingent contracts are valid, whereas wagering agreements are void. Differences, again, practically. That's about your Indian Contract Act. Of course, there are so many topics in Indian Contract Act. What I have told you is important for tomorrow's exam. Next topic, Sale of Goods Act. Straight away go to conditions and warranties, definitions, differences, and implied conditions, implied warranties. Damn important, both theoretically and case based questions on implied conditions and implied warranties. Focus on that. Then there's this concept called caveat emptor, which is let the buyer be aware. Correct. Focus on caveat emptor and exceptions to caveat emptor, again both theoretically, practically. Next, there's a concept of ascertained goods. So this process of ascertainment has something called unconditional appropriation. Focus on the appropriation concept, how it happens. Next, focus on delivery. In Sale of Goods Act, we have actual delivery, constructive delivery, symbolic delivery. What is delivery? How? Also link to how it relates to property transfer. Correct. What is the relationship between delivery and property transfer? Focus on those. Also, there's a concept called nemo dat quod non habet, which means you cannot transfer what you do not have. Correct. So there are exceptions, so focus on those. So where even though the good does not belong to you, you are not the rightful owner, can you actually transfer a good title to the good, to the property? So see those cases. So that's about your Sale of Goods Act. Again, so many concepts are there. These are the most important. Focus on these. Third, Partnership Act. In Partnership Act, straight away go to what is true test of partnership. If you remember, there is something called mutual agency. Focus on that. Next, should we register or we need not register partnership firm? If we don't register, what are the consequences? Focus on that. Then focus on public notice. Whenever a partner retires, usually a public notice is given, but there are nitty-gritties there. What about acting partners? Correct. What about minor partners? So go through properly practical concepts on who should give public notice. If public notice is not given, what happens? Those concepts. Also, when we are serving notices to a partnership firm, can we serve notices to an acting partner? What is the validity of such notice? Go through these concepts. Right. Also go to personal profits. As a partner, can you engage in your own personal business also in competition to your own partnership firm? If you make personal profits, what is the consequence? So focus on personal profits which partners make. Also good to expulsion of partner. Can we throw out a partner from the firm? Expulsion, in which cases we can throw out a partner from the firm. When you look at that, also look at dissolution of the firm by the court. Sometimes courts can shut down the firm. So these are certain topics which you should be focusing on in Partnership Act. When it comes to Companies Act, the most important topic is non-profit company, that is section 8 company. So please refer to all the details. So I won't tell you what to read in section 8. Read the whole section 8 company, all the provisions, theoretically as well as practically. Next, there are three very important doctrines: doctrine of constructive notice, doctrine of ultra vires, and doctrine of indoor management. Very nicely read them, conceptually understand them, look at the case laws which are given in the study material. Do that. Next, corporate wheel. There is a concept of corporate wheel or corporate personality, and there are exceptions to it. Like if you remember, there is something called enemy company, circumvention of taxes, cases where corporate personality or the corporate wheel can be disregarded. Focus on those in Companies Act. When it comes to LLP, LLP is a very small chapter. Maximum 5 marks is what you get. Straight away focus on what are the features of LLP, how do you register an LLP, benefits of registration, benefits of LLP. That's pretty much it. Nothing greatly, because it's a very small topic, 5 marks. So prioritize your study. Start with Contract Act, go to Sale of Goods Act, then go to Partnership Act. Later we will see Companies Act. Last May we will see LLP, because LLP is hardly 5 marks. Even Companies Act is hardly 10 marks. So major out of 60 marks, 45 marks will be your 3 acts, that is Contract Act, Partnership, and Sale of Goods Act. So Hope that gives you an idea of what to study today. Because now accounts exam has got postponed, law is our first exam. The first exam has to be the best exam. Clear? So focus on these topics both theoretically and practically. If you are not understanding something, you can comment under this video so that we can then probably try to clear certain doubts of yours, because first exam always has to be the best exam, because in CA, even if we fail one exam, we fail the whole foundation level. So, and first exam doesn't go well, you are not very motivated for the second exam, it spoils the whole flow. So give your best shot for law exam, focus on these specific topics which I told you. If you have not yet started preparing at all, don't worry at all, battles can be won even now. Start now, focus on these concepts. If you have already studied a lot and have revised multiple times, no problem, even then please focus on these concepts first. If you are revising, go back, revise these concepts primarily, because my estimation is that some of these concepts will be there in tomorrow's paper. If all of these will be there, amazing. Even if 40% of these concepts are there in paper, we are going to score well, right? And to revise all these concepts which I told you, it won't take more than 2 hours. So that's it, we can still pass the exam. So be positive, that's the most important thing. See you guys, this is CA Vijay Krishna Dharani from Kavach Academy, signing off. Bye bye.